February 2026. Not the 11th, but it is early. It's just 7 a.m. Central Time. I wanted to let everyone know that there's a gold exchange, an estate roadshow next week, February 16th through the 20th. This is going to be at Gulf Breeze Parkway, Hampton Inn, and they say that they're going to buy you jewelry. I haven't gone there before, but I have sold jewelry downtown at both of the jewelry stores, actually, downtown. Okay. Or I bought something, whatever. But I've had business there. I've had a business at both of them. And so anyways, I just want to say that if you haven't tried to start over, now might be a chance. And I put the hole back in this wall, so I had to cover it up with this. So I'm really unhappy. I have rage, and it's because this place feels like a triangle that is concave. Feels like a concaving triangle. It's on the side. It's a triangle laying on its side. And it just, like, to me, it just, like, feels like, the only time it gets, like, feeling tough or whatever is when you go to try to break your face. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's not as soft, but for some reason, I can get my foot through really easy. No, that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that mostly it's like the house is a lung, and usually it's all, you know, potted, like resting in a sort of decompose, but then sometimes I go to slam the door, for instance, and something happens where I can feel the shape of the house, and I can feel what the problem is. I can't really say it enough, you know. It's like I was made some proposals when I was very young, and it's interesting because you'd think like, oh, it would be easy to fall for that or something. But you know what's interesting is that it really wasn't. And why is because I really do see these problems, these, you know, resistant, persisting problems. And on the surface, my issue is being homeless. But the depth of that is that there are a lot of people who think that their personalities are, you know, enough to get them through life, but they pay zero time considering how their personality either rejects or disavows someone else. They just only think about how they get through with their personality. They don't think about anything social about it, which is strange because what does somebody know about having a personality if they don't ever try to interact with other things? No, they do, to the degree that, you know, there's a wake, and that they don't kneel for, you know, or yield for, or whatever. But, you know, the interesting thing is that, you know, actually, mostly people aren't speaking English, you know, and so it's not a matter of policy or procedure or doctrine or order or, you know, whatever like this. It's just a matter of how well you can respond to your environment and how well you can, you know, achieve some sort of synergy. And so being arrogant and egotistical actually does not accomplish that. It is far more difficult to win someone's favor. It's far more difficult to admit that you want to impress someone. It is far more difficult to accept the fact that if you can get by on the bare minimum, that everything else is just indulgent entertainment and leisure. But guess what? Not everybody wants to be in survival mode every single minute of every single day of their life. So if you're going to have friends or family, you have to find some way to insulate them and yourself and be comfortable. And guess what? That means actually paying for things instead of stealing them. Guess what? That means actually identifying value and actually ensuring that you're not participating unless you have paid the price. I don't care. Like, oh, freaking God walks the planet. Like, yeah, and and there's like a bunch of free stuff lying around. Cool. It's like, bro, you're freaking Alice in Wonderland. You fell down the rabbit hole. You need to get a fucking grip. Like, everybody isn't just walking around collecting freaking coins out of thin air, or like, you know, freaking jumping up off of mushrooms and leveling up to freaking King Kong or whatever. Like, no, there is a normal. There is. Because you can't do that every day. You don't get it. You don't get it. That you get by on the bare minimum and you think, what's your problem? Why can't you? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I'd like to have a boyfriend. I don't know. Maybe because we want to go on a date sometime. Like, you do not chill. And I hate it here. I seriously hate it here so much. I seriously think about breaking everything, like once at least every day for like the last 6 months. Fun fact about me. That's to me, suicide means destroying everything that you own recklessly and violently. That's what that means to me. So just want to let you know. Like, there's no other way to do it, you know, but throwing a fit and breaking everything that you own. And then nobody has to worry about, you know, a will. You know, you don't have to worry about who gets what. Anyways, this is marked for not children. So, yeah, I just wanted to say that the whimsy of all of commerce being comprised of singularly what I have shopped for is only because you're lazy as fuck. That's not economy. That's just because I'm really good at marketing. You don't have a brain, and actually people suffer because they're like, where's that thing? Where's that thing? And you're just like such a fucking space cadet that you're just like, whatever, whatever. And until I literally put an example in front of you, people literally suffer like they're literally dry rotting from the inside out. So I make lists and I put them in everyone's face just in case that's that one thing that needs to jog that one person's memory who refuses to get out of the way. Gatekeepers, you know who you are. You know who you are. So this whole business that I'm supposed to be like amused because the stuff that I shop for now was already stolen before, and it still had to come to me again because they always were gonna steal from me, like in their DNA. Like they think they're like just a mitochondria and they're like, oh no, that's for me. And it's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't for you. You know, ribosomes, you know? And it's like, they literally, but guess what? They don't really. Because that's who they are whenever they don't have to have a role as a family person, for example. You know, whenever people are relieved of their responsibility to others, they really do kind of become these weird, selfish amoeba creatures. And that's why I've always thought it was so important to, you know, show up and get to know the people who are closest to me, because they're not going to be there forever, because they could have some very important information, and because antisocial behavior is illegal. And in the United Kingdom, and I am an allegiant. So anyways, no, yo, they're gonna have to remake Divergent with Allegiant now because I just said that. Good thing I bought that, so we can do that. We can do, because I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that. I paid for it. It's in everybody's library now. No, but I don't understand the whole, like, space-time continuum of how things get stolen from me and then still show up at my doorstep. It is happening. Mostly, I know that it was a result of someone older than me or something who claimed that they could get access to my assets when I was younger. See, like, they didn't understand, like, that's not how that works. And so, anyways, like, because they refused to take responsibility for, you know, children or providing in this way, they said that they would just get my stuff from me if that's the case. And so they do, but it's like, why don't you have enough of a brain to just, like, get a bar of soap? Why does it have to be the exact fucking bar of soap that I bought? Like, why? There's so many other things out there, but they don't. They only want the stuff that I have bought or touched or listed. And it's like, okay, so red flag. I'm not saying that that is an issue of continuity. You know what I'm saying? Is like when people are slipping, that's what's happening. So hide your kids, hide your wife. I don't know who's got a Grammy that they need to reel in, but somebody is off their fucking rocker, and y'all better get it together, because this is ridiculous. Like, I am not for sale. They don't care. And it's like the way that they can take from me and then still act like I don't exist and like use my name and then literally say who. It's like, bro, like, fuck around and find out.